Hello, 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 and welcome to my Facebook Live. I am very happy, very excited to be here today. I haven't gone on live in a while. As you know, through my previous lives, that I'm really going live when I really feel that strong feeling of I have something to share. And when I have everything written out, outlined, so that I can deliver to you from my heart with proper communication and effectively communicate with you what it is that I'm here to deliver during the transmission. And today is going to be a fun live. So I'm going to share with you what I purchased on this trip. Hello, Leah. And why I purchased these items and the energy around buying that I have found works really good for me and brings so much more meaning to what I have and to what I purchased, instead of just buying things to buy them, being filled with mediocre things on your trip or in your house, filled with mediocre things in your house that really don't make you feel like something good from it. It's just like blah. Right? It gives you more energy of just like, mediocre or whatever. So I want to share with you how I buy things and how I used to buy and how I buy now. And I believe that you're going to have some really good insights on that and have a different buying experience when you go to purchase your own things in your life at whatever place that is. And then I'm also going to talk about the experience of Turkey and the calibration to luxury, because that was the full intention of this trip. And I want to share with you why we got to that intention and all of that. So, and I was going to talk about coming back into your flow after you've been completely disconnected, but I'm going to make a completely separate live from that. This live is already going to be like about an hour to 90 minutes as I practice these lives by myself, and I know that it took about like an hour to 90 minutes, so an hour and a half. So I feel like talking about that's going to take just a little bit longer, and even though it's not that long of a topic, maybe it's about 15 minutes, but if I dedicate only to that, I think I can even deliver something better. So I really just want to dedicate this live to the items that I bought and to the Turkey experience and to calibrating to luxury and to abundance. So if you want to watch more and learn what and receive the codes that I have received on this trip and with buying, then stay. You're gonna have an awesome time. I have some awesome stories to share with you. That storytelling can be a beautiful way that you can actually calibrate to what you want through someone's experience. So that is my intention for today. So if at any time in this live you feel that somebody could use this information, needs to hear what I have to say for whatever reason, whether you feel like, oh my God, I really want to share this on my timeline, I feel like my people would have something awesome to hear about this, or there's a specific person that you are thinking about, go ahead and follow that nudge. Listen to your feminine intuition in that feminine pull. My intention is really to help as many women as I possibly can. And when you're here watching this live or on the replay on YouTube, because I am going to upload this on YouTube. So YouTube, my YouTube friends, if you follow that pull, and I'm this alignment where I'm here to share as many people as possible, and you feel that pull, like everything is coming into alignment with the women who are meant to be in my world, whether it's just listening to a transmission or actually taking it a step further. So follow that along so that we are all in our divine alignment with following our nudges and following our purpose. So if you do that, thank you ahead of time, and please let me know if you do. I would greatly just want to give you a thank you for that. And okay, so if you're new to my live, or if you have been here before, thank you for being here. If you are new, my name is Jessica Lozano, and I am a femme priestess, which I'm going to do a whole other live on that, because I finally understand why the word priestess and femme came to me through spirit. So that's a whole nother subject. So I guide women to embody their sovereign divinity with men, relationships, their sexuality, body, and money, so that you can live your dream life with your sacred union partner. So I can't wait to talk more about everything, more about this multifaceted me that I'm here to bring into the world. So that is who I am. Thank you for being here. So let's go ahead and get to it. So, okay, how I buy things, like the energy of buying. Now more and more and more that I understand about money, I understand about our consciousness, our subconsciousness, our shadow, our divine expression, everything that we do, especially as women, for sure, because we are more, women are human beings that are more into our emotions, are more into the meaning of life, are more into caring and to feeling something more out of life than just a means to an end, right? That is part of the feminine energy and our feminine essence that we come here. So when I started to learn more about buying and about just energy in general and why it is that we do things, I really started to pay attention more on everything. And buying was one of those areas where our money mindset and the way that we feel around money can really come out to play, obviously, right? Because you are exchanging money with a certain item that makes you feel a certain way for whatever that, whether it's an item or a service, whatever it is, it makes you feel a certain way and you want something out of it. So the way I used to buy was very more like a scarcity mindset, but the way that it would manifest is I would buy things that were more on the mediocre side, but I would buy a lot of them, right? Because I had this scarcity mentality. So the only way for me to feel like I wasn't scarce with clothing, for example, or really clothing is one of the ways that it manifested, or anything else, was buying mediocre things so it looked like I had an abundance of things. And even though I had a lot of it, they weren't items that really brought me like, whew, like that sacral solar plexus, like, oh God, this makes me feel a certain way. This makes me feel so good. This makes me feel like $1,000,000. This makes me feel like whatever. And this really, and actually, as a matter of fact, as I'm sharing this with you, I remember having this belief or this thing where it's like, oh, other people buy the more expensive things for me, right? Like my ex-partner, he would buy the more expensive items for me, right? So there was like this kind of belief that the things that I buy need to be kind of like maybe mediocre, and that way I have a lot of them, you know, because usually mediocre things don't necessarily cost like as much money or whatever. And therefore I have like an abundance of them, but other people buy expensive things from me. It was kind of this weird thing that I had with buying, right? Because I didn't want to spend, I didn't feel maybe worthy, or I didn't want the money to just flow out on buying this one item that maybe, let's say, was a bigger price point, but made me really feel really, really good. You get what I'm saying? So I had this really weird energy with what I felt was appropriate for me to spend on myself, and the scarcity of the amount of money leaving the bank account for exactly how many things I got with that. You get what I'm saying? So it's almost like I would try to stretch my dollar versus really purchasing something that really felt 100% in alignment. And it doesn't necessarily always have to come with a certain price, but usually when you really are looking at nicer items and higher quality items, it is going to have like a bigger price point. But overall, it's more about how something really makes you feel, right? When you buy something, does it feel like a whole full body? Yes. And there's a book called Rich as Fuck by Amanda Frances. I highly recommend that you buy this book if you're really looking to change your money mindset. She has prompts to do at the very end of each chapter. But there was one chapter where she was talking exactly about this, what really helped me change my mindset about what I buy. And she said that, you're better off having a few items, and she was talking about clothes, a few items that you bought that you feel really good about, than having a lot of mediocre stuff, because then you feel kind of just like blah, right? And if you're really following your own feeling of this is what I really desire to buy, you are leading with your soul and with your ever evolving self. So you're always purchasing things that are in alignment or calibrating you to expand into more, right? So with that said, with on vacation, sometimes that type of buying experience can be even triggered more because, well, this is, okay, so a separate component to this is I would buy things sometimes with the feeling of, well, it's okay, I like it and it feels really good, but it doesn't feel like a full body yes. It feels kind of like half and half. So then I would settle for this okay feeling versus waiting for that item that is a full body yes. Because with that came, with that mindset, when you really dig behind it, came that what I truly desire isn't going to come to me if I wait. What I truly desire, there's not going to be something better than this. So I'm going to go ahead and settle for this because there's not something better for me out there. And when I was writing down my outline and as I was doing all this, it made me think of like the energy of how some women can be with men, right? You settle for what you have, even though you're not fully satisfied with it because you think that something better isn't going to come. What you truly desire isn't going to come. So this was like the energy with how I had with buying items, right? It was like, well, I kind of feel okay with this. Like I really do like it, but it's kind of like it's like a half yes, half no, right? It's like a meh. But, or I would be like, oh my God, I really do like this, but there's something that's telling me no. It's almost like I feel like there's something better, right? So with buying things, just like with men, like the example that I just gave, it was like I would settle for a standard versus waiting for that one thing that really gives me that full body, like, yes, I need to have this. So that is the energy that I shifted for a while now, and I've been getting rid of clothes and getting rid of things that really don't light my soul up, that make me feel like I just bought this to have this. I didn't buy it because it really lit me up, or, you know, if you need something that's different, but do you get what I'm saying? So when you're on vacation, that idea that, oh no, I don't know if I can find something better than this can really come up like that. And that's like a scarcity mentality, right? So I really had to keep myself in check with that during this time. So with all of that in context, let me go ahead and share with you what I purchased. And also, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to see exactly at what time I'm done with this, because I do have a client and I need to be done here by 4:30. And already looking at the time, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get through this whole entire thing that I want to talk about. So I might have to leave the luxury experience for tomorrow for another day. And that's okay. You know, before, the mentality that I would have is like, no, I need to squeeze it all in and start rushing this part of the experience and during this transmission, versus giving this the time that it requires and being okay with that and knowing that, you know what, it probably just means that the next transmission was supposed to be on its own and it's going to be even better than it was today, because it's already 3:30 and I can tell you this ain't gonna take 10 minutes, at least from the time that I was doing this, practicing it on myself. Okay, so I bought a couple of items in Spain, which we were there for maybe 3 days total. I did buy this like belt, but I don't know, I feel intuitively like my soul saying like, don't really talk about those things, really talk more about the turkey, because that was really the bulk of the vacation. So let's go ahead and talk about the first item that I bought, that I actually it was actually gifted to me, but in Turkey, what is it called? The Gala, something bazaar. The Grand Bazaar. There you go. That's it. I was trying to remember earlier what this place was called, but I couldn't remember. So the Grand Bazaar is like this huge, like freaking market. And it has actually 4,000 stores. So this is a place where you go, a lot of people go to buy, you know, their souvenirs, Turkish delicacies, things like that. They have real leather. I bought my dad a leather wallet because he really wanted a leather wallet. So I got my dad a leather wallet. And you get really good prices for things. So anyways, we went into the Grand Bazaar and we went into this place. What really called our attention was the Turkish delights that they had. So the Turkish, they have these treats. They actually look like sushi, like the way that they're rolled up, they look like sushi, but they're treats. So they have like a color on the outside and they have a color on the inside. So that's what really grabbed our attention. So we're there and the guy's being very helpful with us. Like he's giving little samples of everything. We're being treated really like really awesome guests, right? And they come and they bring us tea because they drink tea all the time over there. And then I see that there's this sign that says non-toxic perfume. I can't remember what the name exactly what they said, but I have been desiring to, number one, clean up all my beauty products where it's the clean as possible products as all. Hello. And that's been a thing that I want. I really want to have like really clean products. So I've been slowly but surely really, as soon as I'm done with the product, replacing it with something that's very clean, like cleaner products, right? So perfume has been one of them. I've really been wanting like to have like a signature smell and something that smells really nice. Thank you. I got it at a festival actually. So thank you for that compliment about my dress. And so I've been slowly but surely releasing them. So perfume has been one of the things that I've been really wanting to have a signature scent. I actually purchased something here in the States. God, I can't remember their name, but they gave you little sample bottles so you can pick the one, you can smell each of their fragrances and pick the scent that really feels aligned for you. And I have a couple of them checked on there, but I haven't really felt pulled to buy it. Anyways, so I see this sign about perfumes. I'm like, oh my God. And it said like clean or non-toxic or whatever it was. I'm like, oh my God, like what if I buy it? Like that'd be so cool if I could find a perfume here that really like stands out for me. So the guy is like helping me out. He's like, ooh, and they all had really cool smells like Love Life and all these, I can't remember the names of them, but they have these really cool sounding names. So, they smell good, but nothing was really like, yes, I was having that feeling of like, oh, this smells good, but I don't know, there's like something missing, right? There's like something missing. And I'm trying to tell him what I like, the kind of smells that I have, and he's giving me different options. Sometimes he's really not nailing it, and other times I'm like, oh, okay, this is kind of what I want. So I was just kind of feeling a little bit like that feeling where I used to have where I would buy something when it wasn't like this full body yes, but I remember saying to myself, don't buy anything if it doesn't feel good. And the other thing now that I'm recognizing as I'm sharing this with you that comes with more of his people-pleasing personality is that because he was being so good with us, right? And he was being such a very good host in having us taste all these things, having us taste different teas, getting all the different types of perfumes out, like really treated really nice. I felt almost like this obligation that I had to buy something from him, right? Which can happen a lot to people pleasers, and we end up buying things that really aren't aligned with us. So we have to be very, very careful on how we buy and making sure we set a boundary for ourselves and that it's okay to say no, even if someone is treating us very, very well. And we did buy other things from him. We did buy some of the Turkish delights. I brought some home from my dad. And my mom got some for her brother. And we also bought some teas. But anyway, so my mom is also kind of smelling them and she's really feeling into it. And then she's like, what's that one? Like, I want to try that one. And it's called Queens of the Night. And she smells it and she's like, oh my God, this is it. This is the one. This is the one. And I went to go smell and I'm like, oh, full body. Yes. Like from my crown chakra down to my root, it was like, yes, this is the one. This is the one that I've been looking for. Okay, let's get it. So I got this perfume there, non-toxic, this little bottle. Okay, so after we purchased it, it came out, I forget how many liters. It was like 8,000 liters, was it? I can't even remember how much it was. And I was like, what the hell did we buy that cost so much? So $1 is 20,000 liters. No, 20 liters. Something like that. I can't remember. Anyways, I think, yeah, it's 1 to 20. I'm like, what the hell did we buy that was cost so much money? And as we're looking at the bill, it was these perfume bottles. This little bottle cost like about like $100 and something. And I was like, wow, like this is a luxury item. Like a little bottle costing $100 in Turkey. Like that's a luxury item in the Grand Bazaar. So this is now one of my new perfumes that I'm absolutely in love with, and every single time that I'm going to put it on, I'm going to think of the luxury experience that we had in Turkey. So I waited until I felt that full body yes, which, by the way, this bottle is double the amount of the products that I was sampling here that I was going to buy from the perfumes. So, but this is the one. This is the one. I'm actually still going to buy one of the ones from that I was sampling here, but it's more like this is a very like a sexy nighttime smell, like a smell that you would go and wear out on a date or like a girl's night out where you want to feel like a queen of the night. And the other smell I'm going to buy from, I think it's Henry Ford is the company. It's more of like a fruity smell, like a daytime, like today. So that was the first item that I bought there, which actually was given to me. My mom said, I want to buy this for you. Which size do you want? And I got the small one for traveling purposes. And I'm kind of glad we did, because we probably would have spent like $300 on that if it was like the bigger bottles. Okay. So the other thing that I wanted and I was thinking of getting, it was a journal. I absolutely love journals. I have journals for like everything. I have a journal for my daily journal when I get up. I have a journal for 2023 where I write who I want to become during this year, what I want to accomplish in every month, like the recap of the month before, so I can create a new month the current month that's coming up, right? I have a journal for my moon, my personal moon cycle, and the Earth's moon cycle. I have a journal for all the courses that I take. I have a journal for like anything. I've been really wanting a dream journal. So in Turkey, in Cappadocia, we went to the Salt Lake, which it looks like something out of a dream. I posted some pictures about it, only a couple. I'm gonna definitely be posting more. The water is salt, right, from the lake, like very condensed salt, and it's a very thin layer, and it goes all the way out to the horizon, and from the sky it completely meshes into the lake. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. So they have this store there that is their like tourist store. They sell some salt products, which I did buy some salt products, which I'm not going to share those. But the store had like a lot of different things. I'm like, what if I really find like a journal? I really want like a journal to write down my dreams, like my nighttime dreams when I'm sleeping. So my mom comes up and she shows me this journal. She's like, oh, look, I'm going to get this. And it was cute. I think it had like a hot air balloon, whatever. I was like, oh, maybe they have a journal for me. So I start seeing these journals that had all the cool embroidery, right? Like this, but there wasn't the part here where it's white was more like blue or red. And I was like, okay, but it's kind of like it's not that full body yes feeling. And I'm looking, and I'm starting to feel a little disappointed. I was like, oh, I'm not going to find my journal. And then there it was, this one. full body freaking yes. And I was like, that is the one. That is the one that I wanted. So I got this journal. This is now going to be my dream journal that I have, and I can't wait to start writing into it. I don't even know how much this was. It was at a touristy shop, so I'm pretty sure it was very inexpensive, but it has the energy of full body yes. And there's another reason why I want to share with you about why you want to wait until it's like a full body yes. So the other thing that I wanted to really buy is a mug, like for like touristy purpose, like a souvenir purpose. I love mugs. I collect mugs. I have so many mugs, like so many. I could have one for each every day and more. And with this new energy that I opened up with in our conversation of really only having the things that really light you up versus having a lot of things and having an abundance of things, but they're more, don't really fill your cup. Every now and then I let go of mugs that no longer give me that vibe. So walking around Cappadocia, I saw different mugs and I was like, oh, that looks really cute. And I'm like, oh my God, maybe almost the ones that I saw that I was really thinking about getting, but didn't feel that full body yes, were these mugs that were relatively big because I love big mugs. And they were white background and they had the hot air balloon on them all around, and it would say, and it said Cappadocia, and then they had like this like a porcelain or a spoon that you could mix everything with. I was like, oh, this is super cute. I was like, but I don't know, like something about it, like I like it, but it's not like yes, you know? So days are going by, whatever, and like I think this is like the second to last day or something like that. We're leaving the next morning. I was like, oh, I guess I didn't find my mug, whatever. And then we walk into this coffee shop. It's called The Hopper. And it has the most beautiful aesthetic. It is very much like outside. They had this whole mural of I don't know, I think it was fake fox plantery around it, but it had like royal animals, like a royal cat, like type of paintings, you know, where they put the face of an animal on top of like a royal body. So it was like super cute. They had that all spread out. And then on the inside, when you walk in, on the right side, they had the hot air balloons, but they didn't have it really colorful. It was all like one color, but the hot air balloon was like a 3D version of it. And then we go to the register, and like the way that they had all the options set out was really pretty, and they had pumpkin spice latte, which I love pumpkin spice latte. So I was like, yes, this is the place for me. Like, we're gonna get some lattes here for sure, because where we ate, they didn't have lattes. They only had Turkish coffee, and I didn't want Turkish coffee. I don't really like Turkish coffee. So I really wanted like a latte. It's like, yes, we're gonna get a latte here. I look over to my right, and what is there? All these mugs that were, like my whole body was like, oh my God, you need to get one of these. And I'm looking and looking and looking, and I'm like, oh my God, Mom, look. Oh my God, Mom, look. And I showed her this one, and I went like this, like no joke. I was just like a little kid. I felt like a little kid. And my mom said, is that your sacral yes? Your body telling you yes? I'm like, yes, it is. That means I need to get this. So the funny thing, with all this excitement that I'm sharing this with you with, this is exactly how I felt. Exactly how I felt when I got this mug. When I held this mug in my hand, like a little kid, my sacral was like, yes, you need to get it. I had a moment where I thought, no, but why do you need a mug? Like, you have so many mugs. Why are you going to spend more money? You've already spent enough money. Like, you've already bought so many things. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to listen. Because this mug was definitely a lot more money than the other mugs that I've seen. I can't remember how much exactly it was, but I do know that it was more. Because it was like in a more, like, very, like, it was a nice coffee shop. It wasn't like your normal touristy places that you see on the side of the streets, you know? But I said, no, I'm gonna listen to my sacral energy saying that this is the mug for me, even if it's $10 extra or however much money extra. your whole body just lit up. Like your inner child came out super happy. You have to buy it. Because of course I have the extra $10 at it, whatever it was. It wasn't a matter of money. It was a matter of me listening to my body when it says, do this. Because you, number one, you desired it. You said you wanted to get a mug. So why are you going to deny yourself? Right? There's like these little voices in our heads that come up for whatever freaking reason to keep us small. Really, it's the ego wanting to keep us small. So this is the other buy that I had. I can't wait to have it, to drink out of it. Okay, so the last buy I'm going to share is very special. Now, I can't remember if it was after I bought this mug or right before. It doesn't really matter. I think it was all along the same day. So my mom was specifically looking something for her friends and like getting like a bracelet or something like that. She was thinking of birthday gifts to give. I think she also wanted something for her granddaughter, for my niece. Anyway, so we're walking by, we see this store, and this store is like really beautifully set up. What caught my attention, it had like these blouses, these sleeveless blouses that were kind of like this material, very soft, very light, that you would wear like on a hot day or maybe over your bathing suit, whatever. And you can see that they had some like hand woven items for the top, like some shirts. I'm like, oh, this place sounds really cute. So we go in there, and they also had like these little jewelry things, whatever. So we're looking there, we walk in, and everything is just so beautiful. Like every item you could tell was made with care. And the way that the shop was set up was very well put, like where items were, how the colors were, because it was very, very, very colorful shop. And I'm looking and looking, and something catches my eye. Like the purses looked really pretty, but there was one that my whole body was just like, you need to have it. Intentional and purposeful travel. Love it. Yes, exactly, Michaela. You know exactly what I'm talking about. And I see this purse, and I was just like, my whole body again was just like, yes, like you have to get it. Having a purse wasn't even on the top of my mind at all, first of all. Second of all, like just anything with the purse was not in, but there was something about this purse, about this blue, like even when I look at it, I can feel my solar plexus like light up. So maybe it has to do with something with my energy that I need to listen to, like maybe the color blue. Yes, that was my first time in Turkey. We went to Istanbul. We were there for like 4 days, and we went to Kuşadası and then Cappadocia, and then that was the trip. So I got this. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. Like, I don't know what it is about this purse, but like, I feel like I have to get it, you know? And when the price, I can't remember, I was like, wow, this is not bad at all for this type of purse. Like, and this is usually the purse I do not get. I do not get these types of materials at all. This isn't normally what calls my attention when it comes to purses, but this particular and this color, and I think this like sunflower looking design here really called my attention. And again, I was like, there's a reason for me that why I want to get this. I'm going to say yes to this purse. Then I'm looking around, and there's this like, I think it's called a kamut. It's not a kimono. It's like those big kind of like super oversized shirt, but it's not a shirt. Please correct me for whatever the right word is. I see it hanging on the side, right? And there's something about this, even though the colors are nothing that's necessarily like extravagant. It's, it's just brown. And it has this on it, but there was something about it that I was just like, I'm really drawn to this. I'm really drawn to this thing. And like I did want something that I could wear over like my bathing suit. I was really tired of wearing like just shorts and a tank top. Like I really wanted something different. I really wanted to look elevated when I walked into the beach. It's just a desire that I have. So when I saw it, I'm like, I think this would be perfect. And I was like kind of still questioning whether I should get it. Again, I was thinking like I've already bought in so many things. I'm already going to get this purse from this store. But my eye like keeps going back to it. And I know that for me, something that I've learned, that whenever my attention keeps going back to something, it's because it's telling me that this is for you. Like you need to pay attention. Like even when I'm sitting in meditation and asking for guidance and automatic writing, if there's a word that I don't know whether it's me or my guides are telling me, the way I can tell is if the word kind of goes away naturally, it's usually me. If it keeps pestering me and over again, I'm like, okay, this is the word that's for me. So I know from having this communication with my body that if my eyes keep going back to it, it must be for me. So I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to get it. So as I go to grab this, the owner of the store starts talking to us about the store. And this store is all the items made in the store are made from 60 women, all handmade, that it's like generation of women, like grandma, mother, daughter, sisters, aunts, and, you know, cousins, all like 60 women of them. And what it reminded me of, was like sisterhood, generational, generational lines working together. Like sisterhood was like the biggest word for me, right? And I was like, wow, I feel like maybe that's the reason why I was really drawn to these two items, why my whole body was saying yes, because having that type of relationship with women, right? The shoulder to shoulder, everyone working together is something that I want to calibrate to as well. Something that I want to continue to expand more because I've had my own sisterhood wounds. As a matter of fact, I did a transmission last year around this time, I think, called A Living Masterpiece. And this was a transmission where I really had to let go of a lot of the shame that I've had about myself when it came to the sisterhood wound and my part that I played in the sisterhood wound, because I've hurt a lot of women and I felt almost like I had to come clean, you know, with this shadow that I had of mine, especially because of the work that I do. There's something with me sharing my experiences and sharing my imperfections and my mistakes that allows me to open up to my truth and calibrate higher. And that sisterhood wound is something that actually kept me from receiving more clients because I work with women. So if I'm walking around with this shame with women, then it was hard for me to get really close to women and really feel more of this shoulder to shoulder that we are walking this path together. And that therefore I had to kind of almost have this hierarchy with women. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to have that kind of energy with women, right? I wanted to have this, like, we are walking shoulder to shoulder. What was it that Melanie Ann Layer says? Equal? No, something with power. Equal but different power, something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said, but anyways, this store with buying these items, when she told us that it's generation of women who make all of these items, every single one handmade, and you can tell it's made with quality. Like, this is quality work. This is quality work. And my whole body was saying yes to these items. Nothing that would break my bank, you know? And I said, you know what? I'm gonna get it. So there's another reason why it's really important for you to listen to those energies. Our bodies are always trying to communicate with us. even when it comes to the things that you're buying, because everything really is energy. If you understand that everything is energy, everything is it's an energetic exchange. It's in the frequency that you're communicating, that which you're receiving something. Everything is energy. We are made up of energy, right? The fact that we are kind of solid is because we are vibrating so low and that we feel solid, right? So if we can understand that, then we understand that everything that we do creates an impact and creates an impact on ourselves and how we want to show up and how the energy that we want to move into. So when we are making decisions in our life, whether it's a decision in a relationship, a decision with career, a decision with work, a decision with your body, our body intuitively will give you certain message. That there's ways that our body, our soul, communicates with us. It's really our soul. It's not necessarily just our body, but if we feel it, the sensations either through our body or through like an auditory, through a knowing, but there's ways that we feel yes, or ways that we feel that there's something that our soul is trying to communicate with us. So when you are listening to those and you practice of having a conversation with things that you are buying, you are opening up that communication. So when you're going to make more harder decisions, you know how your body communicates with you. So you're actively building this communication with something as simple as buying. For something as simple that what you're going to wear on your day-to-day life or have on your drink out of a mug or whatever. There's like a bigger meaning to the fact that you are listening to those intuitive pulls when your body says, yes, do this, no, don't do that, or maybe you should wait. Maybe there's, if there's a meh, it means that there's something better, whatever that better is. So if you can listen to that on something it's not a life or death thing in your life, it's going to make it so much easier when you're going to make more difficult decisions or more expansive decisions. So that is my energy on buying. So I can see the time that is 3:52 here. I do have to be done by 4:30. And what I wanted to share next about my expansion to luxury, I'm not going to have time. I really don't want to be pressed for time and really condense it into 30 minutes. Maybe I will, but maybe not. It's, to me, feels a little stressful, and I really want to also be free-flowing with what I have to share with you, because I have some awesome stories to share about calibrating into luxury, and I really want to give it the time that it deserves, just like this deserved the time. So is Turkey the place to go for a second time? I would go for a second time for sure. I would like to, when I was on the plane on the way back, and they're saying like, they're showing all the different places to visit in Turkey. Like if you want pleasure, and they show a huge scene. If you want adventure, and they show another scene. If you want to relax, and there were all like scenes of landscapes, different landscapes. I was like, what was this? I didn't know this was all in Turkey as well. So yes, I would. I would go back and visit Turkey a second time. I would probably go to all those places that the airlines was promoting. The people were awesome. I love how the men always say lady, like lady. What else did I love? The food was okay. I'll be honest. The food was okay. The food wasn't anything crazy. But I did love just the environment and the beauty that was there. Like I did the hot air balloon ride, which I'm going to talk more about that on my next transmission, in Kusadasi, where we had the view that we had. So there is, there's so much beauty there. So yeah, I definitely would visit again. And the people were awesome. People were very awesome. Okay, so that is it for today. I'm going to share more about my experience tomorrow. So I hope that you received some kind of insight on the energetics of buying and the deeper meaning behind it when it comes to connecting with your own intuition, and just really having items in your life that bring meaning to it, especially as women. When we have more meaning, there's a reason and intentionality behind anything, it brings more joy and happiness to our lives. And the simple little things as getting dressed in the morning or drinking the coffee or writing in that journal. And when you have that, you have a higher quality of life. Like your life becomes better, not necessarily by changing something different, just more on how you purchase things and what you invite into your home for a day-to-day. So anyways, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next one. Okay, bye.